Hi, I am Amir. In the last segment, we looked at planning, how to shoot a scene, and the type of shots that may bring your single camera production to the next level. In this segment, it is about shooting a documentary. We'll be looking at A-roll, B-roll, shooting an interview, selecting the insert shots, framing and composition, and finally, lighting. The way we approach documentary shoot slightly differs than a narrative shoot. It depends on the subject matter you want to highlight. The script uses a 2-column script, which later is a breakdown to a shot list to ensure all the shots are required to produce a documentary. In the last segment, we talk about shooting a scene and the type of shots required in shooting a narrative. The basic principles in single camera shooting, like the gears, framing, and composition of shot, and shooting for TV station or not, still applies. Documentary style can be poetic, which focuses on conveying a mood or tone than presenting facts. Expository, which tried to persuade the audience with an argument presented by commentary.
You can help by choosing seafood that is both healthful and sustainable by following the seafood guide. These are from unsustainable and overfished fisheries.
Observational, which capture events unfolding chronologically on camera without adding interviews, reenactment, music, or sound effects. Self-reflexive, which exposes the process of filmmaking within the documentary. This style is also known as the making of or behind-the-scene documentary.
And we had to, use them in several different points of the film.
And finally, performative, which features the filmmaker who usually testing out a theory or undergoing a personal experiment.
These are the ingredients that we need. Red velvet cake mix,
in documentary filmmaking, you will be shooting a lot of A-roll or B-roll shots. So what is A-roll or B-roll shots? A-roll is generally interview footage, like what you're looking at now. Talking heads. Someone speaking on screen. It is usually the primary video subject of people being interviewed. B-roll is a cutaway clips or supporting footage used to illustrate what the person is talking about. If there is no B-roll, a video can easily be boring. Let's say a film about DJ talking about his experience for 5 minutes straight without any B-roll. We would just have to stare at the guy the whole time. Visually, it is not compelling nor engaging, and if you want your audience to enjoy and understand the topic, you have to make sure you aren't boring people to tears. The rule of third is best applied in the framing A-roll shot. Unless you have a track or jib arm, just use static shots on tripod. If you're shooting B-rolls, try not to shoot pan shots, tilts, or moving shots handheld. Use tripods, jib arm, or stabilizer to give us smooth and steady shots. Avoid zooming. Films with a lot of zooming resemble home videos. Make sure you shoot more than you think is enough. If you're not quite sure if you got the take right, try it again while you have everyone in place. Scheduling reshoots is difficult and inconvenient. If you are shooting an interview, you will be using wireless lavalier or clip mics, boom pole kit, and external audio device. Do consider these audio tips. Choose a quiet setting. You ideally want to be in a quiet, possibly soundproof, closed-off area. Wear headphones. One of your crew should always be wearing headphones and monitoring the audio. Place your clip mic strategically. The appropriate distance between the speaker's mouth and the clip mic is 8 to 12 inches. This prevents the capturing popping noises and heavy breathing in your recording. Check your levels. Your microphone levels should never peak into the red during your test. Record ambient sound. At the end of any interview or any scene of B-roll, record 30 seconds of ambient sound. This will come in very handy when you are editing your documentary's soundtrack in post. Speak clearly and articulate your words. Remember to speak conversationally, whether during an interview or narration, as if you were speaking to a close friend. Listen to the audio playback. Don't be afraid to start over if you made a mistake. If you want to lit up an interview in a room, use a 3 or 4 point lighting. It is a classic lighting setup for film and documentary and consists of key, fill, and backlight. The 4 point is the lighting of the background. Here are some lighting tips. Natural light. When you are in a hurry, natural light is your best friend. If shooting outside, do it in a shaded area so your subject won't be squinting. Or shooting indoors, place the subject next to a large window. Position. Avoid positioning lights directly behind or in front of your subjects. Lights positioned 45 degrees off to one side of your subject and angled slightly down at your subject will produce the most dynamic footage. When shooting outside, avoid positioning subjects with their back facing the sun. You want the light to be falling on their face. Reflect. When you only have one light source, try reflecting the light back onto your subject to lighten up any shadows on their face. You can use either a reflector or a large piece of white foam core. Diffuse. In general, diffuse light is more flattering for your subjects than contrasty light. You can diffuse light by using a diffuser in front of the light or bouncing hard lights to a wall or ceiling. I hope these videos can give you a good start to producing a single camera production. These are just the basics. Explore other techniques used by professional filmmakers. Never stop testing and trying with your gears. With better understanding in technicals, creativity and a passion to create, you may be able to produce a good production. I am Amir. Goodbye.